Hi friends, my name is Janessa and I'm the head of community here at the Sell with Amy app, and I'm so excited that you decided to join me here today to chat all things Amy 101. So let's go ahead and dive in. I've got Amy open here on my phone, and we're going to walk through a number of different functions, and I want to go ahead and let you know that sometimes I squirrel. So let's go ahead and pull up. I've got an agenda here, so that way I'm on task and we can go ahead and make sure you can see what we're going to cover today, and that way I'll go ahead and mark off as we address each of these items. So first we're going to talk about entering orders. Now, entering orders always starts, or one of the things we like to remember is orders and appreciation always starts with the customer. So in order to enter an order for the customer, you're going to go ahead and go to the contacts down here below, and you're going to go to the contact that made a purchase. In this example, Gizmo made a purchase with me, so I'm going to go ahead and select their name. If they're not in there, you can always add them. Just in the upper right-hand corner, you hit add. But Gizmo's in here, and I'm going to go ahead and take actions in the upper right-hand corner and record an order. Now in this example, Gizmo ordered a beach towel and a pet bowl. And so I'm going to go ahead and select that. Completed. At this point, I can say maybe Gizmo actually ordered 2 pet bowls. You can make that modification here. If there was a difference in price from what was originally listed for whatever reason, you can make those changes as well, change the date, and confirm that order. Once I select the order here, you can see Gizmo is now listed as a customer because he made a purchase, and you can see what that purchase is like. We're going to go over the customer timeline in the near future. Now, let's pop back to my agenda so I can just say, yes, we actually went through. I'm going to add a little pineapple there. We love pineapples here at the Sell with Amy app. And then once you enter that order, it automatically kicks off and schedules 2 follow-up reminders. Now, what does that mean? That means 2 days after the order, we are going to, the Sell with Amy app will remind you to connect with your customers, and it'll say, be sure to follow up and just say thank you. Say thank you to Gizmo for his purchase. 2 weeks approximately after that purchase, it's going to give me a reminder to connect with Gizmo and say, did you receive it? Do you love it? Did you tear into that box? And if you didn't receive it, are you excited to get it? And then 2 months approximately after that order, we just want to remind you to follow back up with Gizmo and see if there's anything else that you can help with. Maybe Gizmo loves his products, has been talking all about them, and so you want to offer potentially to either host something if you're with a party plan, or potentially go ahead and ask if they'd like to make any additional purchases. So that's the 2 follow-ups. Now, we make it so you can customize the time frames. We also make it so you can customize the messages. Those time frames are automatically selected and kind of scheduled out and just happen at the exact right time, so you don't have to remember anything. In the settings in the lower right-hand corner, you can actually modify those timelines under to-do schedules. So if you select that, you can say, I actually want to say thanks for the order not 2 days after, but the very next day. I want to check in on an order after 14 days. If maybe shipping is a little bit slower or faster, you might modify that to meet your needs. And then additionally, re-engage after a recent order. That is typically 2 months, but let's say that I actually wanted to say after 4 weeks for whatever reason. You can modify these to suit your needs and how often you would want to connect with your customers. Additionally, you can modify the templates that are generated. First, let me show you. If I pop this open, you can actually see recently placed an order, send a thank you note, check in with Sencha on how they're liking their recent order, and there's probably another one here. And then we're just encouraging you to check in with your customers. So you can actually, if we go, let's go ahead and send this thank you note automatically. So you can see I last updated my message template about 22 hours ago. I can update that message template from right here. You can see it's Louie's first order. You can click on that to view the order if you want to see. But let's see what just happens, right? If I were to send a text, automatically it says, hey, thank you for your recent order. I really love the table lamp and vase. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for your support. And my little template has those emojis. So if you select that, that's how quick and easy follow-up can be. Isn't it incredible? Same goes for here. If you want to update your message template, let's say I wanted to add some pineapples, because again, we love the pineapples here. I can save it and then send it right off to Sencha, just saying, hey, I wanted to make sure you received your watering can. I want to let you know I'm here if you have any questions about your order, anything else you might be interested in. And so send that off. modify those templates to meet your needs. Let me show you another way to modify it. If you go to the settings and you go to message templates, those follow-up message templates are here. You can reach out, you can see, thank you for your order, check in on an order, follow up from a note, wish a happy birthday. So you can modify these to make sure that they sound like you. So your customers aren't like, who is that? Did someone get your phone number? So you can modify those templates as well. Going back to my agenda so I don't get too far off topic, let's go ahead and add a little pineapple there. Let's do share a product. I love this feature. This is a great way. If you have a customer that something comes out, or maybe you think of something, or you've connected with that customer and they said that they love funky sunglasses, right? In that example, I would want to go to my products. Now I did that a little fast, the little magnifying glass down at the bottom. I can search for sunglasses. So I'm going to go to sunglasses, and I have the ability to share in the upper right hand corner there. I can either just copy the link and send it to them, or I can send it directly to them. So if I just copy the link, it just takes that link and it copies it to my clipboard. You can paste that wherever you would use a link, right? You can use that in the comments of a Facebook post. You can send it in Messenger. You can do all those things. The cool thing about this, though, is if you share and you share with someone in particular, so let's say I wanted to share this with Elliot, I can send a text message right to Elliot. It shows the verbiage. It has all this ready to go. And then the cool thing about that is I'm going to go ahead and send that. It's being crabby. All right, so there we go. The cool thing about this is if you go to your dashboard, you can actually see what you've shared. So see over on the dashboard's the lower corner here, that upward trending graph, and then it says shares. The cool thing about this is you can actually see when you've shared these particular links. If it's just a link like this, then it'll actually say how many views you have. If I go back to, let me do that again, but I'm going to share it instead with, let's try Gizmo. There we go. It's not liking me right now. All right, so you can also share it via email and then go from there for demonstration purposes. And then when you go over here, you can actually see that particular link was shared with Gizmo. You can see if Gizmo clicked on his own personal link. Additionally, let's go back to here. So that's how you can share a product. I love that feature because I can see what people are interested in. Let's talk about wish lists. Let's Gizmo, or actually we're going to go for Dash today. Let's create a wish list for Dash. Now again, just like sales are individual and start with the customer, same for wish lists. So here is Dash's contact form, upper right hand corner is actions. If we do create a wish list, we can go ahead and add some of these things to Dash's wish list. He is interested in decorating his space, so we're going for primarily decor type items. He might have just moved into his place as an example, and so we want to make some recommendations here. Then we're going to share it. I can just copy that and it'll be copied to the clipboard. Now you can see I shared that wish list. I can paste that wish list elsewhere. Let me actually do that. Here. Paste. Now you can actually see Dash's wish list. It's great. It has his avatar or initials there, shows a little bit, and then it provides these great links so that way Dash's friends and family, let's say he's having a housewarming, can shop from here and it'll go right to your site. Isn't that great? So wish list, back to my agenda. Here we go. Sharing a wish list. Let's talk about recording a sample. If you have a product that might be sampled, let's go ahead and do actions. We're going to record a sample. Very similar to recording an order, but a sample will not show any sales, right? So let's say that we're going to sample out some of this conditioner and shampoo, right? So I would sample that out, complete, make sure to record the date, confirm the sample, and now because we've provided a sample to Dash, notice he's been changed to a customer prospect because he's not made a purchase. You can see there's been no purchases yet. However, we want to make sure that we are following up on those samples. So you'll get automatic reminders to follow up on those samples, to connect with Dash to see if he used them, see if he liked them. And then also, because he's a customer prospect, you're going to get reminders to connect with him should you choose to turn those notifications on. Back to the agenda. Ta-da! Okay, so with this, let's talk about contacts, categories, notes, and timeline. Now, I've alluded to some of this in some of the other conversations. Let's go ahead and go down to, actually, let's start here. At the top, you can actually search for somebody. So if I was searching for Louis, I could start typing it in and it'll pop up anybody that populates with those initials. You can also you can also sort right here. Let's say I wanted to look at my top customers. There are a plethora of different options to sort through. In this example, I want to look at most lifetime order value. There's also most number of orders, because sometimes people place a lot of orders, but they're not very much. And sometimes people just place one big order as an example. So in this example, Sadie is our Rockstar customer. If I were to select that, I can see what she's purchased. And then I can see I have this beautiful timeline, okay? So I have a timeline of purchases. Anytime I connect with Sadie, I'm gonna get reminders here, or I'm gonna see that here. If I create a note, for example, let's say Sadie's going on vacation. I'm gonna add a note, so I hit the little plus sign. I'm gonna say going on vacation for Thanksgiving. And so I might create a follow-up so that way I'm connecting with Sadie before her vacation to see if she's interested, for example, in ordering anything, need hostess gifts. So there we go, save. Now I'm going to get a reminder to connect with Sadie to ask her if she wants any hostess gifts. It also populates in my timeline. So if I ever want to see the notes, I can see the notes here. Populates in the timeline. I can modify it. If I were to just select it, go to the notes and select it, I can edit the follow-up, so forth and so on. This is a great way to celebrate and remember those things that you communicate with your customers, or if you find out about your customers that you know you'll never remember in the future. It's great for anniversaries. It's great for making sure that you are showing up for your customers, even if you've not been able to keep that information in your brain, right? This has got it all handled for you. You also have the ability to filter. So next to search is that filter button. If you want to find all your customers, for example, you can search and it'll show you everybody that is your customer, anybody who's ever purchased from you. You can also filter to look at your customer prospects, or both at the same time. So let's say that there's some big sale or something. You can connect with your customer prospects and say, hey, I'd love to know if you'd like to take advantage of this, or if you're just looking to expand your customer base, you can go through and look at who are your prospective customers. Same goes for recruits. If you're looking at working on recruiting, you can go ahead and filter by recruits. You can see I have a little bit of work to do in terms of adding some people to my pipeline for recruiting. And then you also have the ability to connect with your team members. If your team members are listed as a team member in level 1, you actually have team follow-ups that will populate throughout the month and also on their anniversary dates. So go ahead and make sure that anybody that you want to connect with, you're listing as a team member in level 1. And then you have the ability to, let's go ahead and clear those filters, reset all those filters. There we go. So now again, you can go back and go through sort by. You can search for them, or you can scroll through your contacts if you're the scrolling type. All right, back to our little agenda. We talked about the categories, right? Oh, let me show you how to set categories. After I say, we also checked the notes and the timeline. Let's go ahead and look at how we set categories. So for Maddie, for example, we know she's a customer because she's come up in our top customers. Let's say that I also think she's a recruit prospect. I can select that and save. If I'm going through and I'm looking at my top customers, I want to go ahead and make sure that they are listed as either hostess or recruit prospects, or both, right? So I'm going to get reminders to connect and follow up with them. Yep, so that's how you would do that. Again, if I were to filter, then I can now filter by, if I were to filter by recruit prospect, then I would have more to choose from and connect with. Additionally, let's go over to our main to-dos, because I talked about the 222 follow-up, but I didn't connect with share all these other to-do timelines. So Amy packages all of these up in this really beautiful list, whether you like a list like this where it's bundled by topic, if you will, or if you want to see just a full list, you can select full list right there. And then you can go ahead and see, it's going to encourage you to connect with somebody new. It's going to encourage you to connect with your recruit prospect. It's going to encourage you to do these, but I tend to like this nicely bundled item. My favorite thing about this is if you have something that's listed as 0. So for example, build your social media presence. If I select that, it's going to give you some suggestions to build your social media presence or in that particular category. As an example, if I were to reach out to Sadie, then I would be able to say, I could potentially email her, send, and then now that it's cleared, now that I've taken care of that, you can actually see some additional suggestions to continue to grow in that particular workflow. It's really intuitive and super cool. And then I love this too, because this changes. So it tells you how many to-dos you've completed, but also gives you a little inspiration. It's one of my favorite things. Sometimes we all need a little pat on our backs, right? Back to our little agenda here. One of my last and favorite things is our contact form. What's a contact form, Janessa? Let me tell you. So if we go down to settings and you go down to business links, you have the ability to see this contact form. So in this example, I'm just going to copy it and we're going to go ahead and pop it open here. Sorry, Dash, there goes your wish list. Paste and go. So with this, you actually have the opportunity to have a link. This is great for events or for online parties or for in-person parties. It's really anytime people are interested, and instead of filling out like a paper form that you need to then type and figure out when you're gonna have the time to type it, if you actually pull this up or send it to your customers or prospective customers' phones, they can fill it out. So in this example, I will fill it out here. There we go, and okay, done. Okay, so in this example, Drax is saying he's interested in products you may like, but he's also interested in the Pineapple Crown opportunity, and say met at the park. They can type in whatever they want here, right? So in this example, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's connect. This is what Drax would see, right? It's just a link. It can be used anywhere you have internet or your customer has internet. So again, great for events. You can have people enter it on, you can open a laptop and have them on a laptop entering it. You can send it to their phone. They can enter it on your phone if you're comfortable. And then let me show you what that populates here. So if we go to here, new connections. So in this example, under build relationships with the new business connections, you can see he just filled that out, he being me. And now if you were to select this, you can actually go ahead. You can see what information he gave you. You have and he has to give you some information. You can't just put his name, right? Because how are you going to reach out to him? So you get some information there, and then you can see what they're interested in. It also gives this note, which is tremendously helpful, and this additional comments gets dropped in there as well. All of this, if I were to go look at Drax's profile, you can see the notes are right here. I can schedule a follow-up from here, create a follow-up from here. I have all this information on the timeline. I can see when we initially started. Maybe he made a purchase from me because we were at a vendor booth. I can immediately record an order from here. He's very artsy and stinks. There we go. So I can go ahead and confirm that. Now he's no longer a customer prospect. Now he's a customer because he's made a purchase. So you can see how this timeline can be tremendously helpful and how that contact form is really cool. Now let's say that I actually completed this because I did connect with him because we met in person. Now I can go back to my to-dos and keep on keeping on. Back to our agenda here. So we chatted about our contact form. Lastly, I want to highlight, if you have questions, please contact us. I'm going to show you, we have their email here at support@amy.co. However, there's a better spot to be able to pull that. If you go into settings and you go down to this support section, we have a plethora of information and resources for you. One is, hello, Sell with Amy 101. That's this. Additionally, there's a help portal with every question you could have ever thought to ask, it's likely been asked and we've documented it. And if you select here, you can go ahead and go to that help portal and search for anything that you would like to search for. It's all there and ready for you. Additionally, we have this frequently asked questions here. These are frequently asked questions. So if you have that question, you can check that as well. Lastly, this is the contact us button, which is what I wanted to highlight. You can reach out to us on Facebook Messenger or email. Both of those go right to our support team, and they are absolutely incredible and waiting to help you. We are available for you Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific to 6 p.m. Pacific, and we will be sure to connect with you in whichever way you connected with us. We'd love to help if you have any questions specific to you or setup or anything else. We are here for you. So thank you so much for taking some time to watch this. I hope you have an incredible day, and I hope to see you in some of our communities or around Facebook. Thanks, friends. Bye.